Hi there, it's Tara Bianca with Be Light Transformative Therapy, and today I want to talk all about the bolt, what it is, how to measure it, how to improve it, and the benefits that come from improving it. Let's take a look. BOLT stands for Body Oxygen Level Test, and this self-evaluative breath test offers a pretty good indication of your level of functional breathing. This test provides a lot of insight into your CO2 tolerance, the onset and duration of breathlessness or fatigue that you might expect to experience either at rest or during physical exercise, your emotional state, your perceived level of stress, and even the quality of your sleep. How does it do that? Well, in general, the lower your BOLT score, the more dysfunctional you're breathing. And with that comes a reduced tolerance for CO2, increased breathlessness and fatigue, emotional instability, a perceived level of higher stress, and poor quality sleep. And then the higher your BOLT score, the better all of those things are. Your BOLT score is measured in seconds, so you'll need a stopwatch, a timer, or a watch with a second hand in order to get an accurate reading. It's best to take your BOLT score first thing in the morning, as everything that happens in your day, including what you eat and what you drink, will affect your BOLT score. Regardless of when you take your measurement, make sure that you are seated and relaxed for at least 5 minutes before you measure your score. You'll want to then take a normal quiet breath in through your nose and a normal quiet breath out through your nose. You can check out this video right here to get a better understanding of what a normal breath means. After your normal quiet exhale through your nose, you'll pinch your nose and hold your breath. As soon as you begin your breath hold, you'll also start your timer and you'll measure in seconds how long it takes until you feel a definite desire to breathe, which includes a mental desire to breathe, or any involuntary contraction of your diaphragm or your throat muscles. As soon as you experience that definite desire to breathe, you stop your timer, release your nose, and take a normal quiet breath in and out through your nose. This is a subjective test with a lot of room for error. So let me give you 2 very important tips. Number 1, if that first inhale immediately following your breath hold is a gasp for air, audible, through the mouth, or stressful, then you pushed your breath hold a little bit too far. That first inhale after your breath hold should be totally quiet, easy, and controlled. And number 2, this is not a maximum breath hold. I repeat, this is not a maximum breath hold. It's not a competition, so try to take your ego out of it. I know that you can use willpower to hold your breath longer, but that's not what this test is measuring. We have other tests for that. This test measures the communication between your diaphragm and your brain. How quickly does your body send a signal to your brain that it wants to breathe outside of your conscious control? Or especially for those of you who suffer with anxiety, how quickly does your brain have the thought, it's time to breathe? This is about feeling more deeply into the subtle movements and mechanisms of your body and your breath. And this takes practice. Almost everyone who learns this test messes it up the first few times. Even now, I think that I sometimes cheat a little or push it a little further than my body is actually signaling. So don't stress about it at all. We're going to practice today. And know that this is a self-evaluative test that helps you to see your personal progression. It's just information. So as long as you perform this test more or less the same way every time, you'll still be able to note any major fluctuations or changes that might happen from day to day. Like I said before, the BOLT is measured in seconds, and we say that an optimal minimal score is 25 seconds. And then if you're able to get your bolt to 35 or 40 seconds, that's considered excellent. For those of us with a bolt score of less than 25 seconds, it just means that there's a lot of room for improvement. And it's also an invitation to see where in our daily activities we can work to make our breathing more functional. A low bolt score is more common than you think, so there's no judgment here. Whatever your bolt score is, we'll work with it. It's just information. For example, someone who is very sick, or currently recovering from respiratory illness, or who has a low CO2 tolerance, or who suffers from chronic anxiety, might only have a bolt score of 10 seconds or less. It's nothing to feel badly about or to feel ashamed of. It just shows us that there's plenty of room to make modifications in your lifestyle to improve your functional breathing and your quality of life. Okay, so let's try it. I'm going to do the demo one time and then I'll walk you through it. So you're going to see me take a normal breath in and out through my nose, pinch my nose and hold, start my timer, and then you're going to see me time in seconds how long it takes until I feel that first definite signal to breathe. And of course, all of this is happening with mouth closed. So in this moment, my score was only about 19 seconds. Remember, your bolt score gives information about your CO2 tolerance, but also your current emotional state, your stress level, and for women, your hormonal profile at any given time in your cycle. Meaning, as a woman's progesterone levels rise, so too does her ventilatory response, making her more prone to hyperventilation and naturally reducing her tolerance for CO2. For me, it's already pretty late in the afternoon where I am, and my body has already had to respond to a number of different stimuli today, and my breath is going to reflect that. The breath doesn't lie. You cannot hide what is happening inside. Plus, for those of you who don't know, I've just gone through a massive move and a big life transition, leaving New York City and returning back home to my mom's house. Upon arrival, I did a deep, thorough cleaning of the house, and I was breathing in a ton of dust. As I'm trying to make these recordings now in a new environment, I'm getting a ton of ambient noise from the outside world and a lot of weird frequencies within the house itself, so I'm getting frustrated with the recordings. My sleep schedule's been disrupted. My breathing practice has been disrupted. And then on top of it, I've also been shooting a number of videos today for my YouTube channel, so I'm talking too much and I'm overly depleting my CO2. So you're getting to see right now in real time what happens when life sort of takes over and you start living on autopilot. And I'm glad you're getting to see it. I don't want to just show you the best of. I think it's more valuable if I share with you the struggle and the process. This functional breathing thing is something that requires constant maintenance and attention. But as you further develop this relationship with your breath, it also offers you a lot of valuable information about your quality of life and your overall health. Okay, it's your turn. Make sure you have a timer or a stopwatch, and I'm going to talk you through it. Okay, here we go. So go ahead and take a normal, quiet breath in and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold. Start your timer, and then sit quietly. And just feel into your body. You're looking for that first definite desire to breathe, whether that's a mental thought or a spasm of your diaphragm. And whenever you feel that first definite desire to breathe, go ahead and stop your timer, release your nose, and take a normal quiet breath in and out through your nose. Remember, this is not a maximum breath hold, so that first inhale after your breath hold should be totally quiet, easy, and controlled. If it's not, then you pushed it a little too far, and the next time you go to measure your bolt, hold back a little bit more. I'm curious to hear about your scores, so if you're open to sharing, please go ahead and drop your bolt score in the comments below. If your bolt score was under 25 seconds, there's definitely room for improvement. So what are some of the techniques we can use to help improve our bolt scores? Number 1, functional breathing at rest, during physical exercise, and during sleep. This means nasal breathing all day and all night. It means breathing quietly. It means breathing slowly. Regularly taking breaks during the day to drop your breath down to 6 breaths per minute, maybe for 2 to 5 minutes every hour on the hour. It means breathing deeply. So really allowing your breath to drop in, feeling your ribs expand out as you inhale, and then deflate in as you exhale. It means breathing lightly, perhaps taking in less air than you've been conditioned to believe that you require. And it may very well mean taping your mouth at night in order to ensure functional breathing during sleep. Number 2, breath holding exercises can help a lot. In the Oxygen Advantage, we practice breath holds that are specifically hypoxic, hypercapnic in nature. These work really well to help improve your CO2 tolerance, which in turn improves your bolt score. You can check out my video on different types of breath holds here. And in the video description, I'll also link to my videos on how to do mini breath holds, how to use a pulse oximeter during your breath holding, and also how to perform the nose unblocking exercise. All of those videos would be relevant to this topic of improving your bolt score. And then lastly, stress management and sleep hygiene are going to be critical for your bolt score and ultimately for improving your functional breathing. It's very cyclical. The more functional you're breathing, the higher your bolt score, and the higher your bolt score, the more functional you're breathing. As you work to improve your bolt score, it comes with a ton of benefits. Physical, emotional, mental, psychological, and spiritual. Your respiratory rate decreases. Your breathing naturally becomes lighter at rest and during physical exercise. Your natural pause after an exhalation increases. You're more likely to use your diaphragm correctly to breathe. You're more likely to breathe regularly without sighing or yawning. You have less breathlessness at rest and during physical exercise, and you're more likely to breathe through your nose during physical exercise and during sleep. Those benefits all equate to more functional breathing and improved CO2 tolerance. But then on top of all of those, your sleep improves. You feel more rested with less fatigue. You're less likely to feel anxious and mentally stressed. Your emotional stability increases. Your resilience and adaptability improves. You may lose weight or body fat. Your hormones may balance. You may have an overall increased sense of well-being. I know a lot of you have heard of the bolt and that you were looking for clarity on it, so I hope that this video was really helpful for you. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to drop them into the comments below. And if you're curious to dive deeper with this practical and performance-enhancing style breath work, please check out my 4-week breath bootcamp. That's a live, online breath training that I teach on a rotating schedule every couple of months. So even if you missed the most current registration, be sure to get on the wait list so that you can be informed of the dates for the next session. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Also, you can always hit that notification bell to be notified every time I release a new video. If you're interested in a totally free breath training, please sign up for my Breath Basics 6-Day Challenge. You can sign up for that today by following the link you see on your screen or by clicking the URL that's on the end screen or in the video description. And lastly, a big shout out of gratitude to all of my current sponsors who have been generous enough to donate to my channel. Thank you so much. If you are ever in a position to make a financial donation, please visit my Buy Me a Coffee page. You can find that link in the video description. Thanks everyone so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.